we discussed, I believe. So the question is, if they didn't have Olam Haba, if they did have Olam Haba, why would the Tana have listed them as not having Olam Haba? So the Ben Yosy says could be Hagufa. That was part of the punishment, that they'd be listed as people who didn't have Olam Haba, and that Bejoinus, I guess, was part of what was used towards. That was part of what was used towards giving them their kapara. Interesting way to look at it. Okay, so Dr. Haley Gemara right there. And then at the end, the Malach Master Rabban Shalom, David Melech didn't exactly love these guys. Now you can lock them up and Gan Eden together. Yen is Gan Eden can man Gehenim. You know what I'm saying? They're Gan Eden, he's Gehenim, or vice versa. So Dr. Gemara, no, his Ra'ai, the Rabban, Allah pleasure his Ra'ai, I'll be able to work it all out that everybody should get along. Dr. Gemara, Madua Shoiveva Ha'amazah. Why are you rebelling, my entire nation? Yushalayim Mishoiva Nitzachas. Yushalayim is perpetually rebelling. Let me see the pasuk. Madusha Veva Ha'am Hazeh Yushalayim Mishuva Nitzachas Hachziku Betarmus. They're holding on to the badness. Me'anu Lashuv. They don't want to do shuva. That's what the Navi tells Klal Yisrael. Zokt Gemara. His Shiva Knesset Yisrael the Navi, Knesset had a shtickle chutzpah. They responded to the Navi. Amalahan, let me ask you a question. Amalahan Navi li Yisrael. Oh, I'm sorry. Amalahan Navi Yisrael. Chazru b'shuva. You should do tshuva. Why? Avoseichem shechatu. Your fathers who did averes. Hechadim. Where are they today? Amalahan. So they answered right back to the Navi. Unviyachem. And the Nevi'im of our fathers' Tkufa, who they didn't do Averis, hey, they're not either alive. So what kind of time is that? Shenemar Averisechem, Ayahim, Van Nevi'im, Hala'ilim you, they live forever. Amalahan, so he told them back, nevertheless, Chizru, Bichoisha B'tshuva, Haridu, Duvidu, Shenemar, Ach Devarai, V'chuke, Asher Tivisi, as Abdi HaNevi'im. I don't know. It says over here. It says, "Ach devari v'chuki asher tzivisi es avdei hanavim haloi hisigu hanavim." L'maaseh it happened to them. Haloi hisigu avaseichem. All those oinchim that the Navi said would happen, that did happen. Vayeshuvu, and then they did tshuva. Vayomer, they said, "Kasher zomim Hashem tzavakos lasos lanu," exactly what Hashem wanted to do. Kedarkenu umalaleinu. The same Hashem punished them, he's going to punish us. So the Navi is telling them do tshuva, but the Gemara has a machloikus as far as what the discussion is. Shmuel says what happened was not this shakla attire that they didn't want the tshuva. Rather, Shmuel said Bo Asara b'nei Adam. 10 people came. The Yoshu lefandav and sat in front of the Navi. Amalehen, he told them Chazu b'tshuva. Amaleh, they told him, I don't understand. Why should we do tshuva? Evet shemachri rabba, the isha shagir shabayla. We've already been rejected by the Rebbeinu Shalom. We've been rejected. Klum yesh lazel zek klum. A divorced woman has to go and make up with her husband. They're not married anymore. So we're divorced. We're out of the game. So what's there for us to do tshuva about? Zok to Gemara Amaloi. I'm sorry. So Amaloi Kadosh Baruch Hu Navi Leich Amar Lam Tell Klal Yisrael Eza Sefer Krisha Semchem Asher Shlach Liyah. Did I divorce your mother? Are you gone? Absolutely not. Who did I owe money to? Did I sell you to? You're being punished. You're being sold away to the goyim because of your affairs. In other words, I never divorced you. You can't taina. You're not married anymore. I never divorced you. It says in the pasuk, David Avdi, Nebuchadnezzar Avdi. Now, David Avdi is a term that makes sense. This is not a one pasuk. But David was referred to as Eved Hashem. But Nebuchadnezzar should be referred to as Eved Hashem. Why would the Rebbeinu Shalom call Nebuchadnezzar Eved? It's the ultimate compliment. Hashem knew that Klal Yisrael was going to say, You sold us. We don't belong to you anymore. We now belong to a different master. So therefore, he said the Nebuchadnezzar is my Eved. So therefore, if Nebuchadnezzar owns you and I own Nebuchadnezzar, who really owns you? Eved shekanim nechasim. Eved lemi, nechasim lemi. You still belong to me. You still have to do tshuva. Whatever you're thinking that you'll be able to do Averis and do Avodah Zarah and get away with it, it will not happen. You say you want to be like the goyim, to serve wood and stone. I'm going to pull out all the stops. I'm going to open the gates of hell. I'm still going to be your king. So Amar Nachman, such a curse isn't bad. When the Rebbeinu Shalom says, come hell or high water, no matter what happens, I'm taking you back, that's a pretty good threat. Amar Nachman, Kolki Hai, Rischa, such anger, Lisach Achmana alone, let Hashem say right now, I don't care anymore, I'm taking you out of Golos. Halavai, halavai. Well, it's not going to be in the most comfortable fashion. We'd rather come back to Hashem without being coerced. We'd rather make a deal than feel the wrath of the U.S. Navy. Zok Gemara, a very interesting pasuk again. The Yisrael Mishpat Eloikav Yorenu. They turned to Mishpat. Let's see the whole pasuk inside. Very interesting how the Gemara dashes this. Oh, this is the whole pasuk. But Yisrael Mishpat, they got Yisurim to do, and were appointed to go to Tshuva. Eloikav Yorenu. Hashem will show them. How do we dash in this pasuk? Amar Rabba Bar Chana. Amar Lehen Navi Yisrael. The Navi told Yisrael, Chizru b'tshuva, do tshuva. Amar, they simply said, Ein anu yichayim. It's too hard. Yetzer hara, shayla panu. We're too absorbed with the Yetzer hara. We're unable to do tshuva. Amar Lehen Yisru yitzechem. So overcome your Yetzer hara. Amar, they said, we give up already. Eloikav yairenu. We're going to have to wait for Hashem to bail us out. Because we've given up. We can't fight the Yitzhak. It's too strong for us. There were 4 Hajjoitos who we say don't have a chelik level. Bilaam, interesting stories. Bilaam is a combination of 2 words. Beloyam, he's without a nation, meaning he is disconnected from Olam Haba. Bilaam, Shebolaam, he messed up a nation. Ben Ba'ar means Sheba al Ba'ir. He was mizana with an ass. Tana, who Ba'ar? His name was Ba'ar, meaning the father of Bilaam. Who Koshin Rishasayim, who was a king that the Baal Eden did Averis right when they got into Eretz Yisrael with Yoshua. He was a Pelisha king who harassed the Eden. And who Lavan Harami? He was Lavan and Harami. The Mepharshim speak out. If he was Lavan and Harami, as bad as he was, he had ganz good Arichas Yom. Because he was from before Mitzrayim to after Mitzrayim, which is at least 210 years. Okay? Ba'ar Shabbat al Ba'ir. Again, he was born as As. Kusha Rishasayim, the Avad Shtei Rishoyos. He did 2 bad things. What are the 2 bad things that he did? Zog to Gemara, Yisrael, Achas b'mei Yaakov, which was with Yaakov, Lovan Bikar Shlakar Sakoil. Can we see the Lublin strikes again? Because it's coming to Pesach. The Achas b'mei Shvoit HaShoivtim, which is when Kush and Yerushalayim was the Plishti king that was bothering the Umashamoy. What was the name that he got by his bris? V'yikar b'mei Yisrael, Lovan Harami Shemoy. Ksiv ben Ba'ar. There's one passage that says he's Bilam ben Ba'ar, but then in his Nevuah, at one point he says B'noi Ba'ar, which is mashma that the son of Bilam was Ba'ar, not the father. Rabbi Yochanan, Aviv b'noi hu loy b'nevios. He was a Navi too. So his father is junior when it came to Nevios because Bilam was a greater Navi. Remember, we had a pasuk once that we had when someone calls you, when someone refers to a Navi ben Navi, when he refers to a Navi ben so and so, it automatically means that the so and so had to be a Navi as well. So that's how we know when it says Bilam ben Ba'ar, if Bilam was a Navi, it's a raya that Ba'ar was a Navi, but he wasn't as big a Navi as Bilam was. Bilam, who the Asala Almadas. So much for Bilam because he did very bad things. He doesn't get a chelik in Olam Haba. Hashar goyim achrini. Also, are you telling me that goyim go to Olam Haba? And if you remember, the Olam asked this right when we learned the Mishnah. I'm not sure if it was the result you asked us or you who asked it, but someone asked right away that goyim go to Olam Haba, and the Gemara said, "Vayis techosh ksherei umas olam chasidei umas olam go to Olam Haba." Zok Gemara. Right, we even had a shayla there. Why are they called Chasidei Umas Olam and not Tzadikei Umas Olam? So we answered because they don't keep halacha. They don't keep halacha. You're probably a chus. Why don't they keep halacha? Because halacha says Eitz Hashanel Yaakov. They don't keep the halacha. Because Zok Gemara weiter. So Masnizimani, the Mishnah that seems to say that a regular guy can go to Olam Haba, just not the bad ones. Who is that? It's Rabbi Yeshua. The Tananya we learned. Now there's going to be some gears changes over here. Rabbi Lezer Yashuvu Rishom L'Shoyla. The pasuk says Goyim should go in the Rishom should go into the earth. Kol Goyim Shcheichei Elokim. All the Goyim are Shcheichei Elokim. So the way he darshans it is Yashuvu Rishom L'Shoyla Elu Poisha Yisrael. That's referring to the Poisha Yisrael. Kol Goyim Shcheichei Elokim Elu Oivdei Kechavim, and he takes out the word Poisha. All goyim are considered shcheichei elohim. All goyim are considered people who don't go to Olam Haba, which is not the shita of our Mishnah. Omar, where are we up to? Divrei Rabbi Loser. Omar Rabbi Shua v'chi naimar b'chol goyim v'lo naimar el kol goyim shcheichei elohim. Elo, this is how you should read the pasuk. Yoshuvu Rishom l'shoyla. Rishom should go into there. Man ninu, who are these people we're talking about? Only those goyim who don't think of the Eibishter, who rebel on the Eibishter. So therefore, only the goyim that are bad, they lose Olam Haba. Everybody else will have their Olam Haba. The fact Gemara, V'af Oisei Rasha Nasan Simon Batra. I didn't skip a line, did I? V'af Oisei Rasha Nasan Simon Batra. Bilaam himself actually sort of hinted that he knows that he's not going to Olam Haba. Because Omar, he said, Thomas Nafshi Moshe Sharim. What does that mean? I mean, Im Thomas Nafshi Moshe Sharim. If I die a natural death, only then will Taheyach Harisi Kamoyu. If I'm brutally murdered in a war, as he was, then Hinini Hailach La'ami, I'm going straight to hell. It says that originally the Ziknei Moav came with the Ziknei Midian to enlist Bilam's help. Tana, we learned Midyan u'Moav loy hayalayim shalom ha'adam. They typically fought like cats and dogs, and suddenly they're buddies. They're coming together to hire Bilam. Mashal shneklov show you be'eder. There were two dogs in a group. While you tzuhuv themselves, they would fight cats and dogs, even though they're two dogs. They would fight cats and dogs all the time. But then a wolf came to attack one. Amar Acher, the guy who wasn't under the attack, said, if I don't help my enemy dog today to help fight off the attack of the wolf, today he will kill him. But tomorrow he's going to come after me. So I might as well team up with him now. So the two dogs teamed up, even though they hated each other, to attack and kill the wolf. That's what the mention is. Karkusha, which is a weasel. The shunner is a cat who don't get along at all. Of the Alula, they'll party mitarba the bishkada. They will make a party with the fat of a guy who has bad luck. In other words, they'll get together to attack a human. But Yeshri Sari Moav in Bilam. But the Sari Midyan Lehechanasa. Didn't we just learn that yesterday the Sari Midyan came with the Sari Moav, and now in the morning they're not there anymore to sit down and discuss how this is going to roll? The moment Bilam told them, Linu poya laila, wait here for the night, and I'll talk it over with their minds and I'll get back to you. They knew it was a lost cause. Because Amru Klum, Yesh Av Sheshainis Benoy, is there a Nebishter who hates his child? Avada the Rebbeinu Shalom is not the one going to kill Klal Yisrael. So it's a waste of time. Amr Nachman Chutzpah, you see, if you're a Mechutzif, Afilu Klapish Shemayim Mahani, you could even force Shemayim to do something you didn't want to. For instance, Meikar Ksiv Lo Yisei L'Chimon. The Kodesh Baruch's first response to Bilam was, don't go with them. kum lech itam. So you see his insistence, his chutzpah, changed the psak from the Rebbeinu Shalom. Amar Rav Sheshes chutzpah malchusa b'latagi. If you're a mechutzaf, it makes you into a boss, even though you don't have a mandate. But you take command. V'haraya, look by Bilaam, and now we're going to make another raya. Mekarksiv, so laselechimoim, ulubsaksev kum lechitam. Amar Rav Sheshes malchusa b'latagi dechsiv v'anoichi hayoim. What happened is when Yoav killed Avner. Remember, David had to take the kama on Yoav. David instructed Shlomo, his son Shlomo, to kill Yoav. Why didn't he kill Yoav right away? He was upset that Yoav killed Abner improperly. Remember, we had that whole shiloh that Yoav claimed that he was a Roidif, right? No, Abner killed his brother, and Yoav claimed he was a Roidif, and he said you were good enough of a marksman, you could have hit him in the leg, right? There's a whole discussion about that. But whatever the case is, why didn't David kill him? I'm just a freshly anointed king, but I don't have the power to fight off a Yoav. Meaning Yoav and his chevra kashimi many. So you see, they weren't formally the king; they were just a general, a warrior. But since they were tough, that gave them power. Might makes right. Bilaam couldn't. Yeah, he was. One of his legs was somewhat disabled or crippled. Shenemar vayelech shefi. He went shefi. Shefi is a connotation that, I'm sorry, limping. K'moi bukadato de shaf meduchte, like the hip bone that pulled out of its socket. Okay, Zok to Gemara weiter. Shimshon b'shtei raglov. He limped on both legs. Could you imagine? Yet look how powerful he was. Shenemar shefi fine alei oirech, like a serpent on the ground. Hanoishech ikvei sus, that bites the ankles of the horses. Bilaam sumavach sme'inafaya shenemar shesuma oyin, and Rashi says it means that he was able to see in one eye. Mashma, he couldn't see the other eye. Rashi has another shot. Is shesuma means he couldn't see in one eye. Okay, and kaisem ba'mosehaya. He used to do kishif with his shotgun, and we learned that these people brought up mesim. They spoke to mesim through their shotgun. Kisiv hacha noifelu glei noyim. Uchsiv Hasam by Esther v'ini Haman noifel alamita. When Haman fell on Esther's bed, he pulled the shotgun out, and that's why Achashverosh said, "I'm lichboish as a malka imi babayis." Itmar, Zok the Gemara, Itmar Zutra Amar. There was in one of the shurim, someone had no clue what I was talking about. Zok the Gemara, Itmar Zutra Amar Kaisem ba'moseh. Yeah. Huh?
Had a gun in those days?
They had something that could do worse than the gun. Marbury David Amar Shabbat al Asainai. Like we said a moment ago, that he slept with his ass. My time a Kaisem ba'moseh Kida Amaran. Like we said, Umanda Amar Baal Asainai Haya Ksiv Hacha Kara Shachab, which is part of Bilam's Nebuah. Ksiv Hasam by Yael Eishes Akeni Bein Ragleha Kara Natal Shochav, which is all referring to Znus. Zok Gemara. V'yada das Elyon. V'yada das Elyon. Bilam said, "This I know das Elyon." Frek Gemara. Hashta das beheptoi lo hayada. He couldn't even read the mind of his animal. Das Elyon havayada. What does it mean? My das beheptoi. What do you mean he didn't know how to read his animal? Very simple. Because when he pulled up on a donkey, on a mule, the Amrullah, the king asked him, this is your ride? Where's your caddy? Where's your Lexus? Where's your Range Rover? Where's your Jaguar? My time, you're coming on a mule? On an ass? Where's your fancy thoroughbred? Amrullah, he said, Shadai Retiva, it's in the shop. My other car is a Rolls Royce. This car is in the shop. Shadai Retiva means he's in the achu, he's in the meadows eating. But basically, it's in the shop. Amrullah, the donkey, his ass said, "What are you talking about, boss? I'm your ass." So Bilam says, "No, don't listen to him. It's Latina Ba'alma. I use him to schlep my packages. He's my truck. He's my pickup truck. He's not my car. Asher achavto alai. You ride me. What are you telling me? I'm your truck. You ride me. No. It's only once in a while. Akroy Ba'alma." Bilam said, "No. He just means once in a while." So the ass said, "What are you talking about? What do you mean once in a while? I'm always your ride. I am your ride. And not only that, you don't only ride me by day, you ride me by night too. So basically, Bilam couldn't even read his own donkey. He literally pulled out of his donkey such a condemnation. How do you know that he slept with his donkey? Which is what Bilaam told his ass, referring to Avishag, how she warmed him. So that's what he said. This is what I do with you. So Ella my v'yadeh das elyon. Hitaka didn't even know the das of the ass. How is he going to know das elyon? He knew at a pinpoint that moment in time that Kadosh Baruch Hu was koyes on Klal Yisrael. Ami Zacharna, remember Mayat Balak Melech Moav. What was the date of Balak Melech Moav? Uma ana oisoi Bilam ben Baar, and what Bilam answered him, Minashitim the Ad HaGilgal Lemandas Sitkos Hashem. So what exactly did Bilam tell him? My Lemandas Sitkos Hashem. Omer Lahen HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael. The Uno, you should know Kama Tzedakos Asisi Imachen. You know what tzedakos? You know what wonderful things I did with you? That he was looking for that moment in time where I'd be angry to curse you, and I didn't give him that. I didn't give him that opportunity. So they were showing him asked, and Tosfos asks, not over here. I don't understand. In one rega, 1 nanosecond, what's he going to say? So there's one shot that says he could have said Kalaim, destroy them in that nanosecond. And the other shot was once you start the klola in that period of time, you could finish what you said. This is what Bilam told Balak. How could I curse them? Means Hashem never got angry that entire day. Okay, it says Keil Zoyim B'chol Yom. It says in Tehillim, Hashem gets angry every day. The Kamizamai, how long does he get angry for? Rega, only for a moment. Only for a moment. Shenamar, it says Ki Rega Ba'apoi Chaim B'Tzoynei. One Rega, Hashem is Ba'apoi. Iboy Seimot, there's another pasuk. It says Leichami, go my nation. Bo B'chaderecha, go hide yourself. Uskor Daloscha Badecha, and lock your doors behind you. And Chavi Kamat Rega, just wait for a moment. Ad Yavar Zam, until the anger subsides. So when exactly does this happen? B'tlash Shoy Kamaisa, in the 3rd hour of the day. And the Gemara is going to explain why. How can you tell? It's Ki Chavra Karbalosat Tanalota. It's when the crowns of the roosters turn white. They also always have white streaks in them. Even though they turn white, it has red streaks in it. I'm sorry. Hashta, he shied at that point, less like Sariki Sunke, it's pure white, there's no red streaks in it. There was a min who was bothering Abishum Levi Dava called Mitzarele. He was bothering her. So you know what he did? Nakat turned the goat. He took a turn the goat so he could use it to see when Hashem is angry. The also tied it up by the leg of his bed, I guess. And he was waiting. And Amar, he said, when I see that time when the crest turns white, I'll curse this min. He fell asleep. Amar, he said, it's not appropriate for me to curse them, even my enemies like that. It's not even good for a tzaddik to bring rap on somebody else. Even if he's an apikoris, you should not do it. You shouldn't be cursing him this way. When is it this time? It's when the sun comes up and heats up. And the malachim let their crowns remain on their heads. That makes Hashem angry. So there's so many avodah zaros that they serve. So the Mefarshim tell us that the malachim asked Hashem, if you don't like avodah zarah, destroy it. You can destroy all avodah zaros. Hashem says, no, I can't. Every Getch guy could destroy it, but I can't destroy the sun and the moon. I need it for my world. Because people are making mistakes and looking at avodah zarah, I should destroy my perfect world. So that the son B'dav gets him angry because Hashem Kivay Yochel feels powerless to do anything about it. He got up first thing in the morning to prepare his ass. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, Ahava mevatelas shura shel gedula. We know that if you love something, it will take away your protocols of respect. You see that from Avram. Avram so much wanted to do the Ratzon Hashem, he got up first thing in the morning to saddle his donkey. And Sinim Vatelo Shura Shal Gedula, Mi Bilam Shanim Vayakim Bilam Baboka Vayachvash Esaside. I may be done Rav. La Olam Yasek Adam Torah Mitzvah. A person should always be Yosy Torah Mitzvah. I feel Shaloi Lashma. Shaloi Lashma, Bal Lashma. How do you see that? Shebeschar Aboy Mushtayim Karbonas Shehikr Balak. Balak brought 3 sets of karbonas, and each set was 14. 14 times 3 is 42. In that chus, and he only brought it L'Shem hurting the Eden. So he was definitely not L'Shem Shemayim. Zacha B'Yatza Mimenu Rus. He was Zoicha, that he was the grandfather of Rus. Amar Yosy Bar Huna, Rus was Bito Shel Eglon, Ben Benoi Shel Bolak Melech Vayvaisa. So Eglon was the father of Rus, and he was the anicle of Bolak Melech Moav. Amalei Rav Rabba Bar Mori. Ksivit says, Yitav Elikim Eshem Shloima Mishimcha. Hashem told David, your Shloima Melech is going to be greater than you. The Yigdal as Kisoy Mikasacha, his Malchus will be better than you. Frank the Gemara, is that what you tell a king, that your son's going to be better than you? Amalei, he didn't mean better. He meant it'll be as great as you. And I'll prove it to you that it means just as great, but not necessarily exceeding your greatness. What does it mean that Yael should be more blessed than the women of the tent? Who are the women of the tent? Noshim Ba'amanidu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. And Rashi brings down, they're all involved in tents, right? So, Frank the Gemara, is it there to call Yael greater than the Imois, the Helig Imois? Elama Enkamar, it means she's just as great. Hachanami, when David was told that Shlomo will be greater than him, Enkamar means just like him. But a plea Rabbi Yosy Bar Choni, the Amr Rabbi Yosy Bar Choni, B'chol Adam Miskane, everybody, you'll be jealous of anybody. Chutz mi b'noi v'talmidoi. You're never going to be jealous of your own son. B'noi, we know from Shlomo, this example we just had. The Talmidoi, Ibai Semi, we know it from when Elisha asked Elio to have double the nevuah that Elio had, and he answered Vahina Pishnayim Beruchacha. Beruchacha Elai. So Elisha asked, I want to have double your nevuah. Which is when Moshe Rabbeinu was Soymech Yeshua. The problem that we have over here is, why did it quote Moshe and then Yeshua and then Moshe? Shouldn't it have quoted Moshe first? So they were trying to say Moshe was not such a raya. He was Anavi Kalodam. Maybe he would do it, and Hashem told him to. If Elisha was asking Elio for that, vice the choice, it couldn't have been something that was inappropriate, because Elisha wouldn't have asked for something that was inappropriate. But Yosem Davar Bilam, Hashem put words into Bilam's mouth. Rabbi Elazar Omer Malach. He didn't really deal with Bilam directly. He sent a Malach to do so. Rabbi Yona's son Omar Chika. He literally put a fish hook into Bilam's mouth. So if he didn't like what Bilam was saying, he gave it a yag. From the brachas of Bilam, you know what he really meant to say bad, and Hashem forced him to say otherwise. And what did he end up saying? He wanted to say like Sisra Shechina Alayim. What did he say? He wanted to say like Hey Malchusanim Sheches. Their malchus shouldn't have a continuity. They'll be like unstoppable rivers. It shouldn't grow on the banks. Beautiful plants. Kiganais Ali Nohar. They shouldn't have a nice smell. Kaholim Nata Hashem. They shouldn't have powerful kings. He said Kairozim Alimoyim. He wanted to say Li'ilaham Melech Ben Melech Yizal Mayim Midolyoy. He wanted to say Loisei Machuson Sheletes B'umois. Their malchus shouldn't be able to rule over anyone else. V'zaroi B'mayim Rabim. Then he said Loisei Azam Machuson. It shouldn't be a tough malchus. Ayor Me'agag Malchus. Then he wanted to say Loisei Emas Machuson. His melucha shouldn't cause others to fear. V'shinase Machuson. Amar Baba Bakana. Kulam Chazru. Unfortunately, every one of these things ended up being close against Klal Yisrael. Chutz, the only thing that we never ever had was chutz mi batech nisim batech midrashis that have never ceased in Klal Yisrael. Shenemar vayafach Hashem alekecha lecha, referring to Bilam's klala es haklala levracha, the singular klala. I made it to a bracha. That's the only one klala of Matov Alech Yaakov. Ki ahevcha Hashem alekecha klala v'loy klalos. Hashem only made one klala into bracha. The rest are still klalos, and eventually they came to bite us. Amar Shmuel Yachminu Amirayin said, "My Chsiv Memonim Hitzei, oye, the beating of a person who loves you is better than the Taurus. It's better for you because it's going to turn over for good. Mishikais Soine, than the kiss of a Soine. Why? The klola that Achia Sheloni cursed Klal Yisrael, Yosy mi bracha shebrichem Bilaam Rasha. Achia Sheloni hilel es Yisrael bekama. He's compared Klal Yisrael to a reed. Yes, a reed is soft. Should never be Hashem es Yisrael kasher yonut hakana b'mayim, like the reeds that bounce around. But it has a long life. It's designed to be planted in water, and it could hold up. And not only that, if you chop it down, its stem is going to regrow. Visharashav Marubin, and it has many roots. Even if every wind comes and blows on it, since it is flexible, it won't break off. Once the wind stop, the kana will stand strong again. You want them to be a cedar tree which is strong. It normally can't grow in the water, only because Hashem said. It doesn't have such deep roots. And if you chop it down, it won't grow back. It's a strong tree, it can blow winds, and it won't budge it. But if a hurricane wind comes, that will uproot the whole tree. That's what Bilaam wanted. Another mile of a kana is you could make a quill out of a kana. Okay, I'm sorry I'm so late. Baruch Hashem, at least we